And good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor for me to be here. And as we know, it's been more than 40 years now since the Vietnam War ended. And this was a conflict that touched all Americans. I want to take this opportunity to thank Gene for your services. And it's because of your experience, your services, your leadership, and also your determination to honor the memory of those friends and the 14th U.S. servicemen from Arcadia who became casualties of the war that we are gathered here today to dedicate this memorial. I'm also very honored to be here with all of you as we commemorate the Memorial Day. For almost a century and a half now, Americans throughout the country have gathered on Memorial Day to remember the fallen heroes of this great nation. And I believe that it is the utmost importance for us to take time to remember and reflect upon the heroic sacrifices of the countless men and women who made sacrifices for our country. We must never forget these men and women who died protecting our wonderful country. And to this day, many of these veterans are still stationed throughout the world away from their home, family, and friends. And why? Because they answer the call of duty. I want to take this opportunity also to thank the city of Arcadia, in which I live, the county of LA, Elks Lodge 2025, Gene, and all of the people involved in making this possible. This monument will allow countless generations to not forget those Arcadians who fought and gave their ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedoms. And yes, freedom is not free. In the legislature, we also understand and recognize the sacrifices of these men and women. And we're trying to do everything we can to honor them as well. For example, it wasn't that long ago that we converted about $600 million under Prop 41 to help with housing for veterans. I myself also introduced legislation earlier this year to honor these veterans. Under my bill, AB 1972, veterans who were injured either during wartime or peacetime, if they become disabled, will be honored by receiving a distinguished veteran pass to the state park. I'm very glad to share with you that that legislation came out of the Assembly Appropriations Committee yesterday and will be on its way to the Assembly for voting purposes next couple weeks, and hopefully it will go to the Senate. And I want to continue working with all of you to continue to honor our servicemen and women. You know, as we come to Memorial Day next Monday, I want to share with you that we should not only honor these people on Memorial Day, but every single day. So with that, I want to say thank you. Yes, you can clap. With that, I'd like to present a certificate to the Arcadia Vietnam War Monument and Eugene for your services and your leadership, and look forward to continue working with you.
I have another.
Thank you, Assemblymember Ed Chau. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce Brian Meija, Field Deputy for Michael D. Antonvoich.
Thank you, Gene, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today and being part of Supervisor Antonvoich's 19th annual salute to our veterans and families. And today, as we conclude our day, it is an honor to be here, to be at the monument dedication, to honor our Arcadia veterans who have served the war, who have protected our families and our country. The supervisor is truly indebted to our veterans, and as we pay respect to the families of their loved ones that have lost their lives, we thank the city of Arcadia. We thank the community, especially the Elks Lodge and Gene Glasgow's vision. We thank you, Gene, for working together, for putting the time and effort to make this a reality for all our families who visit the great Arcadia County Park to take note, to take remembrance of the Arcadia veterans who have served our country. The supervisor is truly indebted, Gene. Thank you for your service, sir. You can applause. Being a son of a Vietnam veteran, I can truly appreciate the veterans that put in the energy and time to protect our country. And it's only fitting that we take this opportunity to recognize our veterans. And I want to take this opportunity and recognize Gene Glasgow. We worked together for almost a year on this, and now this is a great day to celebrate this occasion. So Gene, I'd like to present this on behalf of Supervisor Mike Antonvoich and the citizens of the County of Los Angeles to the Arcadia Vietnam War Monument, for this dedication ceremony. Gene, thank you for your service to our country, and on his behalf, we applaud you.
Thank you, Brian Meija. Our special guest is Brigadier General Emory J. Hagan. Brigadier General Hagan was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. His first year in high school was in 1964-65 at Warren Easton High School, where he played varsity football and was on the honor guard. He transferred to Alice Fortier in 1965 and graduated from John F. Kennedy High School in 1967 in the Kennedy's first graduating class. His military career began when he graduated from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina, with a bachelor's degree in science. With a Bachelor of Science degree in 1971. He was commissioned a regular officer in the Marine Corps upon graduation. After completing the Marine Corps Basic School in 1972, he was assigned to 3rd Marine Division in Okinawa and the Republic of Vietnam, where he served as Rifle Platoon Commander in 1st Battalion, 4th Marines, and 1st Battalion, 9th Marines. He was assigned to Hawaii, where he served on the Fleet Marine Force Pacific Staff as the Drug and Alcohol Abuse Abatement Officer. He served as the Ground Training Device Officer, Headquarters Marine Corps, Washington, D.C. from 1980 to 1982. He was assigned to President Reagan's Joint Service Inaugural Staff as an aide-de-camp. He retired from active duty in 1999. Following his retirement, he served as a special agent in the California Bureau of Investigation, California Department of Justice, Sacramento Regional Office. He has participated in high-profile multi-agency investigations, such as the Lacey Peterson homicide investigation. He served for 6 years on the board of directors of the Association of Special Agents. In July 2003, Brigadier General Hagan joined the California State Military Reserve, California Military Department, as the Senior Special Project Officer for the reactivation of the California Naval Militia. Brigadier General Hagan was appointed the 12th Commanding General of the California State Military Reserve on January 7, 2006. He relinquished command on January 10, 2009. Brigadier General Hagan was recalled to state active duty in September of 2003 as the Exercise Coordinator, Homeland Security, and California Military Department, and in July 2004, he assumed the duties of the Director of Homeland Security Directorate. Brigadier General Hagan's tour of state active duty was completed on 31 January 2009. He returned to the Bureau of Investigation and Intelligence, California Department of Justice, as a special agent assigned to the Major Crimes Team in the Sacramento Regional Office. On 24 September 2010, he was sworn in as the Chief, Division of Investigations, Department of Consumer Affairs. In April 2012, Brigadier General Hagan joined the California Public Utilities Commission as the Director, Safety and Enforcement Division. He retired from the CPUC in September of 2014. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina, and a Master's of Arts in Psychology from Pepperdine University. He is a graduate of the Marine Corps Amphibious Warfare School and Command and Staff College. He has attended the Harvard Kennedy School of Executive Education. He holds an Advanced Peace Officer Standards and Training Certificate, a Robert Presley Institute of Criminal Investigation Certificate in Sexual Assault Investigation, and California Community Colleges and Secondary School Teaching Certificates. Brigadier General Hagan has earned numerous decorations over the career of his service to our country. And there's a lot of more interesting details about Brigadier General Hagan in your program today. So with that, I would like to call up Brigadier General Emory J. Hagan.
I state your full name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office I'm about to enter. So help me God. That is a blank check that every member of the armed forces wrote for one life payable to the government, cashed on demand. Today, we honor 14 boys who left Arcadia and had their checks cashed. They left as boys, they died as men. As Abraham Lincoln said, they gave the full measure of devotion. But who really gives the full measure of devotion? Is it those who die and their life is ended? Or is it the families of those servicemen who continue to live with the death of a husband, a child, a father? Do they make the ultimate sacrifice too? I spoke to a group of Gold Star parents last year who'd lost a child, and I told them, I've been trying to think for months about what I was going to say to you, and I have no idea. I have no idea what to say that will comfort you for your loss, because I believe there's nothing that you can say that will comfort a parent or a widow or an orphan. But I said I do remember the class I had that I took. I had to take when I was a young officer, second lieutenant, just before we left to go to Vietnam. It was a class on how to write a condolence letter. The instructor said this is one of the most important things you do as an officer, because only an officer can do it. You have to write the parents of the Marine that's killed and explain to them how their son died based on your decisions and your judgment. This holds you accountable for their lives. It holds the officer corps of the Marine Corps accountable for the children that the parents have entrusted to us. I really sunk home the first time I had to write a letter and explain to a parent how their son had died and talk to him about what kind of Marine he really was. And I finally understood that that was what gave them closure, gave them some peace about what went on in that battle. We're also celebrating Memorial Day. Originally was known as Decoration Day. Both the North and the South decorated the graves of the dead. 622,000 dead. Almost more dead than have been killed in all of America's wars, from the Revolution to the war today. What's interesting is all those that were killed were Americans. The losers were Americans, the winners were Americans. Even if they'd gotten off the boat just recently from Italy, Ireland, Germany, didn't matter. They still considered themselves Americans. And at the end of that war, we shook hands, walked away, and it was over. But those parents that gave their children to us and entrusted their lives to us should be recognized. For their children chose the path of the warrior, a path that is the most difficult. There are many paths in our society. There's the path of the healer, the path of the statesman, the path of the teacher. The path of the warrior is the hardest. It is the most challenging. Not many choose that path, for it takes courage, commitment, and resilience to follow that path. It takes courage to face the horror of war, the savagery of hand-to-hand combat. It takes commitment to leave your family behind, march to the sound of the drum, move to the sound of the cannon, knowing that certain death may await. But you are committed to the warrior on the right and on the left of you. You're committed to your family. You're committed to your country. And it takes resilience. It takes resilience to maintain your humanity in the face of such savagery or inhumanity. So we're honoring today 14 boys who chose the path of the warrior, who chose to be courageous, who chose to be committed, chose to be resilient. Because they know the cost of war. And St. Augustine said, the purpose of war is peace. Douglas MacArthur said, the soldier, above all people, prays for peace, for he must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. So I want to thank all of those warriors, past and present, and those that are sitting out there in the audience, and their families, for their courage, their commitment. For they are the ones who stand on the ramparts of freedom in distant lands and hold back the night so that the rest of us may sleep sound in our beds. We owe them our eternal gratitude, our eternal faith, and our eternal thanks. God bless them all.
Thank you, General Hagan, for that very moving speech. Much appreciated. General Hagan traveled from Northern California to be here today. We really appreciate it. He had a flight out this morning from Sacramento. So now we're going to have a flag folding ceremony by the Arcadia Monrovia VFW Post 2070. And ask them to come up, please. They will fold the flag, and their chaplain will narrate the folding of the flag for us.
My name is Michael Johnson. I'm chaplain with the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 2070 Memorial Team. first fold of the flag is a symbol of life. The second fold of the flag is our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made to honor and remember the veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their lives for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold of the flag represents our weaker nature, for as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war. The fifth fold of the flag is a tribute to our country, for it in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold of the flag is where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold of the flag is a tribute to the armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they are found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold of the flag is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that he may see the light of day, and his fold is made to honor Mother, for whom it flies on Mother's Day. The ninth fold of the flag is a tribute to womanhood, for it has been through our faith, their love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of men have been made this country great, and they have been molded. The 10th fold of the flag is a tribute to Father, for he too has given of his Son for the defense of our country. Since she was first born, we fold from the stripes towards the stars, for the stripes represent the 13 original colonies that founded our republic, and they are embodied in the 50 sovereign states, represented by the stars, so that the stars cover the stripes. The 11th fold of the flag in the eyes of the Hebrew citizen represents the power, the lower portion of the seal of the kingdom of David and King Solomon, and glorifies their eyes of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. The 12th fold of the flag in the eyes of the Christian citizen represents an emblem of eternity and glories. In their eyes, God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The 13th fold, or when the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding us that our nation's motto, "In God we trust."
Thank you, VFW Post 2070 Memorial Team.